My name's Stanbury. I'm a piano and keyboard player, and I'm also a consultant for a couple of the exam boards as well. So if you take a piano or a keyboard exam, the chances are that you've possibly played something that I've written for one of the exam boards. You know, music is a social skill. It's a social language. It's very difficult to be a musician, literally in four walls. You've got to share, and I think that's one of the things that's been so difficult about the last year. Has been for musicians to share in the way that they normally would have done, which would be to go out and play live. If you want to stick at it, and if you're able to dedicate just a small part of your daily routine to making music, a tiny bit of time put aside can have amazing rewards. Whether it's finally conquering maybe the last phrase of a piece you've been learning, or maybe you finished a song that you've been writing, that sense that you've finally completed something you've been working on for some time can really lift you up. And my goodness, we've needed every opportunity, haven't we, to really sort of help ourselves out of this situation. Music is something which is in one way, when you're playing the piano or you're playing the keyboard, everything else around you sort of fades into the background. And for me, that's been a great thing. All the worries I've had, particularly financial worries, I'll be honest, in the last 12 months, we've had no live music scene whatsoever. The bills haven't stopped coming in, but the work certainly has thinned out hugely. And for many other people, people that I teach, people that I talk to in my work with Casio, they're saying, the piano is my escape. When you're learning an instrument, it really does teach you about how you as a person learn. And what I mean by that, well, when you're learning a new piece of music, it really improves your concentration. And it also gives you a chance to, I was going to say, be critical of yourself. I don't mean in a negative sense. I mean that it gives you a chance to look at what you're doing, to sort of, I suppose a better way of saying it is to be reflective about what you're doing. If you're creating a piece of music, or maybe you've recorded a piece that you're practicing, the ability then to actually, especially with something like this with digital piano, and to play back what you've just played, and you listen to it and you're able to think, oh, I did that really well, or maybe I could improve such and such. All those abilities that you don't know you're developing, of self-evaluation, pretty much. I did this really well, maybe that didn't go so well, so how do I fix it? That doesn't just apply to music, it can apply to all areas of life. And certainly at school, we often find that a lot of the kids that play music, when they leave the teaching room, they take a lot of those skills with them and they apply them to other areas of their study. You know what? I think one of the things that this whole situation has done is that it has opened up a lot of new avenues. I mean, certainly one of the things I'm looking forward to most is going out again and playing live with no social distancing and no masks and everything else. But on the other side of things, a lot of my colleagues actually are having real success with Zoom concerts. I think, to be honest, when we eventually go through this tunnel and we get to the light at the other side, we're probably going to end up with, we're still going to end up with a bit of virtual events, which I think is a good thing, actually. And as musicians, I think we've got a lot more skilled at how to present them. And I think, yes, live music has sort of been paused almost completely, but there's all these new sorts of avenues and possibilities that we've been forced pretty much to discover. And some of those they're gonna stay with us. Get onto a live stage with a full audience that's not distance out, that is going to be a very happy moment. Um, and I think not only for us as performers, but when we're able to, share music with people, when we can get audiences in, when we can actually go to gigs ourselves, when we can essentially start being social again with music, that is just going to feel absolutely amazing.